I
Okay
might
then.
be just in the background then.
Okay, cool, cool beans. Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of the meeting of the Mad Hares. I am Countess Rose, and we are continuing our discussion of Death at Bishop's Keep. I am joined by Concert Cruiser,
Rock on.
Grumpy Cobalt,
Hello.
and Rusty Helm.
Hey y'all.
Welcome to our lurkers both in call and on our recorded version that is going to be uploaded to both YouTube and Spotify. Hope everyone has had a wonderful Christmas and New Year. We are officially in 2026 as of recording. How is everyone doing with their reading so far?
They're good.
Doing good. Doing
It's
good.
good.
Greatly enjoying it.
Still a little behind with you guys, but I'm only maybe what 6 chapters away from you guys.
5 or
We
6.
shall withhold judgment till after the meeting.
Yes. He's trying to catch up with us. He was 2 weeks behind us, so we're giving him grace.
Maybe. Not
Maybe
teasing.
a little bit, a little bit, a little bit.
Amen.
We're going to be a little tough, but the toughness is in love, and we're nettling him. That's it. Anyway, so we were in believing chapter 27, I believe, is where we were picking up this week. In the last chapter, Kate had been over at Elaine's house, or no, Eleanor's house. Where did Elaine come from? I'm losing my damn mind. Anyway, she was over at Eleanor's house, and they had a guest who had a very fancy motormobile. He had a fancy car. And Charles came by. Kate was finally able to see the photo of the dead man, and she, not too subtly, suggested, "Hey, I'm going to need you to go and check out this one lady named Florence Fransworth, because she might know something." Okay. And into chapter 27 we go. Who would like to start?
One thing that I found interesting, cute, and funny was that last week it's our reading started off with Charles thinking fondly of Kate, and now this week the chapter starts off with Kate thinking fondly of Charles.
I
So
know.
the shipping intensifies.
It's adorable. But Kate is heading home from her jaunt over at Eleanor's place. She had tea. She got to see Eleanor's wedding preparations and all of the such. But sadly, the ghost remained absent, which she was, I think, perturbed by slightly, because she would have liked to get some inspiration for maybe a little bit of spook factor in her next novel or
Yeah,
novella
but
or periodical.
yeah, but she was still able to get inspiration from other aspects.
True.
And
But
then
she,
we return. So I got
I was gonna say that, I know this, that she specifically was steering Charles toward Fransworth, so that she could at least put some buffer between her aunt and the investigation, which is probably going to blow up spectacularly pretty soon. See, in fact, we're towing the end of the book. But
yeah,
then,
things are definitely coming to a boil.
yeah.
And then she returns to Bishop's Keep. And oh boy.
It's like, it seems that Kate has been making some progress with the household staff. Cook, or as she prefers to call her, Mrs. Pratt, which is her actual name, because she doesn't like the idea of calling someone by their profession, which I can appreciate that.
Yeah.
But she actually is she wants to be in good standing with the staff, and they I think they are recognizing that small aspect of her character, and they are actually very open to her being a having a little bit more freedom around them. Like they're not as timid, I guess, as around him, but because they've gotten to know her a little bit better while she's been here, which apparently has been a little bit, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think a few weeks is
Yeah.
where I read.
But yeah, it's like apparently Aunt Jagger was a bitch again.
Seems like
Yeah,
they all
at
are.
Huh?
Seems like they all are.
No, Aunt Jagger
all
is particularly a bitch.
yeah, it's like a who are you referring to? Like apart from Jagger?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just kind of seems like we're dealing with like, or at least where I'm at, is that we're dealing with pardon the expression, with a bunch of like snobby British people, kind of uptight, and
Yeah,
Yeah,
there
kinda.
seems to be like this. There seems to be like the stereotype of like rich Brits who think they're like upper class or elite.
Well, they are Victorian Brits. They're not just regular Brits, they're Victorian upper class Brits.
yeah, this was back when Brits still thought they actually had power.
Well, they kind of did, because they were like. It was after the Victorian era, the British Empire started kind of shrinking drastically.
And then they kill Doctor Who.
Yeah. Oh, that's getting a
I haven't
little
watched.
bit ahead.
I haven't watched the Doctor since Matt Smith. I avoided
Uh,
heartbreak. Anyway,
I was able to make it to the end of Peter Capaldi, and then I was like, this looks like a pretty good time to stop.
yeah, I got halfway through him. I wasn't really vibing with him. Him and Clara. Clara, I could not stand. Also,
Yeah,
because
and
like
what's
her
worse,
timeline pissed me off.
yeah, it's like Clara had the potential to be the best companion, and then they screwed it up.
She had potential to be a good companion. Best, no. That title will
Yeah,
always stay with Donna and the Pawns. Fight me.
yeah, no, Amy and Roy are definitely top tier.
Mm-hmm.
My thing was like the first introduction to Clara I loved, and then
Mm-hmm.
and then the second time we essentially got Doctor Who Mary Poppins,
It's like he got.
and I'm like,
It's like Clara's backstory. I feel like got retconned, and I did not like it. Like I
yeah,
know
no,
there's like a reason behind it, but like I'm just like, couldn't you have just been a Victorian person, please?
exactly.
Like a Victorian governess would have been fantastic, but that would also been a little bit harder to write, and we can't have
I mean,
that.
it's like it's Doctor Who. They can make it work, but
I know they
no,
could, but that would
they
take talent. Which,
yeah.
given that time frame of when that was going on, I feel like they were. I feel like the talent bucket was scraping the bottom.
AI could have written a better script.
Oh gosh, don't give AI Doctor Who to the AI. The AI will probably start acting like a Dalek.
Or Cybermen.
Oh gosh, that would be worse.
Exterminate!
Anyway, I would like someone to exterminate Jagger, but we are having to deal with her being an absolute bitch to poor Nettie, who is just a little girl. She's working as a maid in the house. And she has lost a pincushion, and that is why she's losing her shit currently.
Yeah,
Like, did she actually
it's like
being whipped over a lost pincushion? This is outrageous. This woman is horrendous in every aspect of the word.
yeah, it's like we haven't gotten to it yet, but you may get your wish with Jagger
To
yet.
be kicked to
It's
the
like
curb, please.
at the very least.
Please. I would
I
like for
haven't.
her to be removed from the household.
Yeah, it's like I haven't read ahead, so it's like I don't know the final conclusion, but it's like yeah, no, it's like whatever the staff and whatever the staff is cooking up, it's like all I ask is that you don't get caught.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, it's like in the last section of reading, we learned that Mrs. Pratt or Cook was actually we get a little bit more information of Jenny, the girl who passed away after being kicked out of the house for being pregnant and unmarried, which from what it sounds like the father of the baby was willing to marry her, but I'm still like, why did I know my answer is because she's a bitch, but Jagger kicked out this girl instead of getting the boy to marry the maid and basically being like, okay, this happens. Shit happens. But no, she has to be a bitch about it. And more
Yeah,
holier than thou, even though in the Bible, if two people have premarital sex before and they aren't married, they are supposed to get married.
yep.
So you're saying I'm screwed?
Hmm.
Uh, Again, I'm not
But yeah,
getting.
but like the guy who's still hanging around from what I heard, it's like he would have married her and then everything would have been okay. Of course, it was done out of order, but at least it would have been made right as far as humanly possible. But no,
Yeah,
she kicked her out, gave her no references, and basically, I. But like the one thing I don't understand is why she didn't just go back to her mother's house instead of going to a workhouse like that.
yeah. This part kind of confused me as well because it's like one. So she goes to a workhouse and it's like nobody goes after her, like not this Potter or anybody. It's like did she intentionally like not tell anybody and just hide away in this workhouse till they find her body?
Or like I
I
wouldn't
mean,
be.
she was brainwashed into thinking that she was inadequate by Jaggers.
Yeah, I was about to say it's like Jagger might have like put her to so much shame that she felt like she couldn't turn to her family or friends, and that's where she was supposed to go. And like I agree with everyone who says that girl's blood is on that woman's hands.
Yeah,
But
agreed.
the one thing I was most shocked about with this information was we get a little bit more information about the uh, staff's backstory. Like we know Mrs. Pratt was Jenny's aunt, but we also find out here that Amelia, who is the current parlor maid, is Jenny's younger sister.
Yep.
Yep.
So Jagger is hiring people who actively hate her guts. She has two people who have familiar ties to this poor girl who she kicked out of the car pregnant and is now dead. I'm surprised she hasn't had something slipped into her tea. Because
Uh,
I really want to say arsenic was easily accessible from the apothecary. I'm just saying.
yeah, and with Scotland Yard's reputation, it's like as long as you're careful, you could get away with it.
Like, you can get away with a
Just
lot of
saying.
things back, given the time period and also the fact that limited technology. If no one saw you
Yeah,
do it, there's a chance that you got away with it.
Yep.
yeah.
But yeah, so at least. But Kate, after learning this additional information, she ends up heading upstairs with a tea platter for herself. But as she's leaving, Tom Potter, who was Jenny's lover, shows up. And she's just like, why is he here? And why do I feel like this is about to blow out of proportion? Who knows? Because we didn't find
Um,
out in this section.
I think they just mentioned Tom Potter. I don't think he actually. I don't think he actually showed up in this chapter.
Maybe. I was like, I thought he showed up.
Yeah, because in the last page, Kate asks about Tom Potter, and that's where she finds out who Tom Potter is, was Jenny's uh boyfriend. But I
Mm,
don't think he actually showed up in this chapter. I think that was later.
yeah. If it ain't right, Tom will make. If it ain't, Tom will make it right, or Mud will, or me. I'm
Yeah.
curious on just like, is Mud like a family friend? Is he related to Tom, or what else might be going on? Because I I know he's the butler, but like it feels like I know like the downstairs staff tend to be very close knit, especially when they have a common enemy in their employer. But I feel like there's like a tighter familial connection with Tom or with Mud.
Yeah, it's like we don't actually know much about Mud at this time.
He's a very quiet man, but he's also young for a butler. But yeah. Anyway, moving on. Chapter 28. Charles is continuing to do his best impersonation of Sherlock Holmes.
He's trying, which
He's
I mean,
trying.
he's not doing half bad.
Yeah. He ends up going back to the resident of the man with the poodle who had the feather in his cap when he left the house. And he actually gets admitted by a maid this time. He doesn't like run into Frank at the door on his way out. But yeah. Turns out he's not really a very enthusiastic member of the Order of the Golden Dawn.
I'm trying to remember if he's actually a member at all, because I know that his wife is, and she essentially like dragged him into it.
Yeah, it's like he's technically a member, he's not an enthusiastic one.
Okay.
Like, no, it is Mrs. Murdstone who is the fanatical enthusiast into the occult. And I'm just like, why? Why?
I mean, there wasn't a whole lot else going on to do in Victorian England,
Very true. Especially the
unfortunately.
higher up in society you are, is kind of boring. But, Frank is very obviously a hen-picked husband.
Yeah.
Eh. Although this chapter had me giggling the most at some of the lines. Because not soon after Charles shows up, guess who needs to go for a walk again?
Yes, the little poodle. What
The
was the
little poo.
poodle's name?
Precious.
Of course it is.
But
If
yeah,
it's not Angel, it's Precious.
pretty much. And they're the most evil little ankle biters. But the one thing.
Although from the although from this account, it's like the poodle isn't so much vicious, just hyperactive.
Hyperactive
But I
and
don't
also
think,
yippy.
yeah. But I mean, that's typical for a small breed.
Yeah, they have Napoleon complex. But yeah, the line in particular that was having me giggling on the couch was the society, Charles Press, fearing that he was about to lose his informant to the custody of a poodle.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Okay. But yeah, it's like, because Frank is like not so drinking the Kool-Aid at the moment, he's actually kind of loose-lipped about details that shouldn't be told to outsiders. Like he was just like, yeah, the thing's name is called the Golden Dawn or something something. It's just a lot of mumbo jumbo to me. My wife drags me to the meetings. At least they have decent hors d'oeuvres. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm just here for the food.
It's like I'm just here to chill while my wife does her weird stuff. It's like my
It's like
husband
it
putting
keeps
up with
her.
my new mahjong habit.
It's like it keeps my wife entertained and happy wife, happy life.
But we get a little bit more information concerning Florence, I believe. Florence Fansworth a little bit here. Like we knew she was an actress, but we also find out, I think it was this chapter, that she married a railroad tycoon or something.
Yeah, yeah, I believe it was he had had a lot of stock in the railroad company. Uh, I believe they said like he was also an admirer of her when she was while she was acting.
Yeah. It's like
But
I think this is a detail that's later pointed out in one of the chapters, is that she was kind of ousted because she didn't want to do what a contract she had signed was what she was supposed to do. Like she wasn't doing what she was supposed to do with her acting contract. And so she was politely requested to leave and don't come back. So she probably agreed to the marriage proposal of probably what she would have perceived to be one of her more wealthy admirers, which I think turned around and bit her in the butt because apparently he wasn't as well off as he thought he was. Especially seeing the fact he also kicked the bucket shortly after their marriage.
Huh.
Yeah, I know, Cruiser. I'm
suspicious.
sorry, spoilers. But we
It's
also
it,
get
it's like
the okay.
it's like it's like it wasn't said, but it's like I'm thinking, okay, wealthy guy dies shortly after honeymoon. Suspicious much?
Not in the
It,
Victorian era automatically. I wouldn't think a lot of things could kill you. That was just everyday household items in that time period. But who knows?
fair enough.
But we also learn where Mrs. Farnsworth lived. She lives on Keene Street, and Charles makes the hypothesis that the murder victim possibly might have misheard the street he was supposed to go to because he was last seen heading toward Queen Street. Or the person who was renting in the buggy misheard him. So he thinks that possibly either this was where he was supposed to go or this is actually where he went. Which is where
Possibility.
Mrs. Farnsworth is residing.
Yeah.
So Charles makes his way over to Keene Street to put a call onto Mrs. Farnsworth. And let's just say you can't get much past an actress. She's going to be able to stonewall you, at least with her poker face.
Yeah, Miss Farnsworth is very keen on like subtle details and hiding any information that she has.
She's very careful about micro expressions.
Yeah. Yes, and Charles tries to play into potentially joining the Golden Dawn. However, the moment that Miss Farnsworth finds out that the reason why he's inquiring into it is because of the dead man, she immediately clams up and essentially kicks him out.
Pretty much. Very politely, of course.
Oh yeah, I mean she didn't have her butler grab him by the scruff and literally kick him out, but
I don't think she has a butler.
fair point.
Cause
You would think that
well, like it was actually
you would
pointed
think
out that what?
you would think that just about everybody would have a butler around this area. But sorry,
Well, it
you were saying?
depends on if you can afford them. Butlers are like one of the higher ranking servants. Like that was like one of the highest like being head butler was like the highest a male employee could get within a household. So, but like the if you had a butler to answer the door, that means that you are can afford a butler. Mrs. Farnsworth, they point out that there is little evidence of Mr. Farnsworth's railroad fortune, for the door was answered by a maid of all sorts, of all work. So she only had a maid, and it wasn't like a specific duty maid. She was just a generalized maid who did everything. But and higher up in the housing staffing, like the more staff you have, the wealthier you are because you can afford to employ all these people. But she just has one maid doing everything. And the
Which I
maid
mean,
answers the door with a mop in hand. Like she just answers the door. There's no pedigree, I guess.
to be fair, it's like depending on the maid, it's like I have seen some maids in fiction to be pretty scary.
Well, yeah, they can be scary, but like there's with Bishop's Keep, you have a parlor maid, you have basically a scullery maid, which is what Nettie is, who works underneath the cook. It's like you have downstairs staff and then you have upstairs staff. Which is like upstairs staff is like the butler and the more specialized types of maids, whereas downstairs staff is more stables, cleaning, and cooking.
Yeah.
So the more staff in general you have, but like if you have a more rounded out upstairs staff, like servants who actually are seen and so they have are well, like they give off a better presentation, I guess. Everything is about appearance in this time period.
Yeah.
But like usually if you are like the highest of the high, you you would be having a butler answer the door instead of a maid. Anyway,
Noted.
I'm sorry. I watch too many historical uh dramas.
You're good.
But yeah. Okay. And back over to Kate we go. She's doing her aunt's work of working on the cipher and the what else was it? And the manuscript for the like uh history documents of the order, while her aunt
Yeah.
is copying a tarot deck. Apparently, Marthur's, or the head of the local temple, had made these original decks and they were being passed around to all the members who were making their own copies. And so, yeah. But when Kate goes into the library to kind of have a chat with Aunt Sabrina about what happened to Nettie and Mrs. Pratt, we have the unfortunate experience of also running into Aunt Jagger.
Yep. And before Kate could slip away, and Jagger spots her.
Yeah. And she immediately jumps to, how dare you were eavesdropping on us? I'm like, lady, I just walked into the room. What the heck?
So paranoid.
Mm-hmm.
Well, considering how the staff is acting or conspiring, it's like
Well, I think that she might be having to deal with a little bit of conviction because, frankly, she's not been very acting very Christian. It's like
no, not
beating the
I guess.
staff, being basically being an absolute horrible person to her niece, and getting upset with one missing pincushion and accusing. It's like, seriously, what the heck?
Sounds like Mommy Dearest.
She's a bitch.
Well, if anybody who knows that movie.
Yeah, I know the general
Yeah,
gist of it.
yeah, she's right on up there.
But yeah, it's like Jagger is like, I don't know what bee got into her bonnet, but she is just pissed and she wants Kate gone. And she apparently has some dirt on Aunt Sabrina that has her basically ruling the roost because she has some blackmail on her sister, which again is not cool.
Not at all.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to remember the name that she even brings out to send Aunt Sabrina in such a frenzy that she actually strikes her.
It's
The
like, I
vicar.
think, yeah, she was like something about the vicar.
Hmm.
But it's like Aunt Jagger gets very upset because this is the most retaliation Sabrina has ever shown since she's basically bulldozed her way back into the house. And in retaliation for being struck by her sister, she sees the tarot cards and just yeets them into the fire, which I'm not against her doing that on a personal basis of myself. But still.
As Yeah, as much as we don't like dealing with tarot cards, like it wasn't exactly hers to destroy.
Yeah. Yeah. And also, I kind of feel bad for Sabrina because they weren't hers. They were also a lent object to her.
Yeah, of great importance to
The order. It's like, I personally would probably
yeah.
have yeeted them out the window. It's like, get them out of my house now. But yes.
One of the few times we would agree with Jaggers.
It's like, we can agree with her. Hey, a broken clock is right twice a day.
Yeah.
It's like one of the few actions where it's like, we're not that mad, but still. But she also, on top of that, she's like, I burnt those, and I will burn whatever else you keep on bringing into this house that is of the devil, and I will have Kate, and Kate is to be sent away. Because she's already, like, looking to, like, get her, like, transportation back to the States.
Yeah, she already sent for a boat to send her back, so
Yeah,
yeah, Kate's got a situation on her hands.
that she does. But we also but as we continue on, I think Aunt Sabrina is a tad bit in a state of shock after all that, especially seeing that something that's very important to her basically just went up in flames. And now she has to explain that to all of her fancy friends of something that was very important within their society is now no more. And all they have is, I don't know how many copies people have made.
Yeah.
I mean, I would assume the main lady in charge would probably have her own copy because she's the one leading everything.
Like, I know Fransworth probably has a copy. She probably was the one who had them first. But, the main guy, Mr. Mathers, was the original creator of those things, along with his wife. So,
Yeah.
yeah. But
I know
we.
when I heard that the wife did the drawings of these cards, part of me was like, oh yes, being an artist. Can you just do this for me real quick? No.
You have that. You have much experience in that matter, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm willing to do it, but it just kind of made me like, yes, even in those times.
Yes. Yes, 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 yes.
Yeah.
But
You're an artist.
it's like here. But yeah, Aunt Jagger, when she was leaving in her huff, she ends up knocking over a box of papers that Kate was working through. And when Kate was going about cleaning up those papers, she ends up finding a letter that was between Mrs. Fransworth and Mr. Mathers. That's apparently somehow got mixed into the other documents that Mrs. Fransworth gave to Aunt Sabrina. So, we don't know what's in the letter because Kate has more control than I, because I would have looked in it. I would have been that person to look in someone else's mail. I know I'm bad.
I mean, it was in the type of it was in the
Important historical
envelopes that,
document box.
yeah, that you were supposed to go through.
It's like it was part of her work stack. I would have looked at it. But Kate
And
just set
plus,
the envelope on Aunt Sabrina's desk and just left it there.
yeah,
You're saying, Rusty?
and plus it's like you kind of know what it's about because you overheard uh I forget who Mr. Transworth was talking to about the envelope that was just tossed in with the historical documents.
I think she was talking with Mr. Mathers.
Mathers, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like a so it's like you kind of already know the gist of the letters. So it's like and you're trying to get as much information as possible. It's like,
Maybe, possibly, who knows?
yeah. Well, apparently we
But
won't know now.
we won't know for
At least,
now. But so Kate's just like working in the library. Aunt Sabrina had left to go up to her room before she found the letter. So she's just like, okay, I'm gonna go have lunch. So Kate goes gets lunch, and she ends up going out for a walk in the garden after lunch just to kind of get her bearings about what she's going to do, because technically her aunt can kick her out of the house if Aunt Sabrina doesn't put her foot down. But she's just like, I don't want to leave. It's like, I've only been here a few weeks. I like this place. It feels more like home than my uncle's house. And so she's just like, you know what? I might be able to just make it on my own. It's like, I have a means to uh, support myself with my writing. It's like, maybe I can just do it here.
yeah. It's like she does have if nothing else, she does have Aunt Sabrina's pay that she should get after
Oh yeah, her severance pay, because she was
yeah,
promised a year. She was promised a year in her original contract, which I don't know what Aunt Jagger's thinking. But anyway, when she
well,
heads back into the house, and Sabrina had apparently come out of her room long enough to come back down, grab that letter, and then disappear back into her rooms. But when she's like settling back down to the library to get to more work, she's just like hears wheels outside. She looks and she sees that Pocket, who is the stable boy by the way, has pulled around the uh, chase or the carriage, and Sabrina walks into the library. She's like, "I'm going to be heading out." And Casel's like, "Can I go with you?" And she's like, "No, this is going to take a while. Uh, I'll be back later." Basically, because Aunt Sabrina does not look well. Apparently, she did read the letter. And Sabrina is nosy like me. And she apparently is off to go somewhere. We find out later where she's going, but we also find out that Kate assumes it's to go see Mrs. Fransworth. A kind of logical assumption, but as we find out later, that's not where she went. But it kind of
No.
makes me think of what was in that letter, because I think as Kate, after Aunt Sabrina leaves, Kate gets sitting back down. She's working through the manuscript and the letter from the old German Fräulein who gave them permission to start this new temples. And she makes this interesting observation. Like, mind you, Kate's not fluent in German, but she's relatively conversational. And she's noticing some interesting grammatical instances in these letters from the Fraulein where there were it sounds like it was written by someone who wasn't a native German speaker. Like they were like barely passable German in these
Yeah,
letters.
like a native Englishman trying to pass off as German.
Mm-hmm.
Curiouser and curiouser.
Very curious. And it's she's just like, huh, that's interesting. Anyway, I was like, no, Kate, I need you to look at this a little bit later, because like, this is the kind of thing that has people like scratching their heads and being like, what the hell did I just sign up for, and am I being told the truth?
Yeah,
Yep.
because this ancient society is not looking so ancient.
Like also like their
Legitimacy.
legitimacy claim is hinged on this woman and these letters from her, quote unquote. But this letter doesn't sound like it was written by an old German lady. It sounds like it was written by someone of English descent pretending to be a German lady. And it's not jiving. There's something very wrong here.
Yeah.
Oh, look, something's not adding up when it comes to a cult and their credibility. Shocker.
In other words, water's wet.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Chapter 33. Would
So,
you like to dive into that, Grumpy?
31, you
31.
said?
I keep on saying 33. Why?
No, no, you're fine. You're fine. So Kate, she finishes her work and she decides to, because she like a woman from her place in society, but also being an American. And I would think I would be the same way of just despising people to ask people to do things for me when I could just do it myself.
Mm-hmm.
So she's like, I want tea. I'm going to go get it myself. So she
Mm-hmm.
goes into the kitchen to make herself some tea. And there is almost a full-on brawl about to happen
Oh, God.
because because Aunt because Aunt Jaggers is down there, which I imagine is quite rare because hard to imagine a woman like her being willing to go downstairs. Um, and turns out Ann Jaggers, not sure, I think she slapped little blanking on her name. What is that young little servant's
Harriet.
name? Harriet.
Harriet. And she straight up punched the poor girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I was about to say because she's getting all because we see that she's all bruised now.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And then the cook just, had a whole bucket of water and doused Jaggers in it, and they're kind of having a screaming match at each other, in which I love how the cook used it as a weapon of, I ain't afraid to use it again, woman.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Hmm.
Kate comes into the picture to, kind of tell them both to kind of calm down, to gain control of themselves. And it's kind of a screaming match of the pointing fingers at each other. You know, she slapped Harriet, she doused me with water, and you know, Jaggers tried to dismiss Cook, but Cook informed that
I don't work for you.
Jaggers didn't hire. Yeah, um she didn't hire, she didn't hire her, but Aunt Sabrina did. So that's going to be the last say of her employment. And then Mud came into the picture, and so seeing that she was surrounded by but they probably are, I would say enemies,
Mm-hmm.
that she decided to hold her tongue and kind of run like a coward and creep back into her hole
Yeah.
upstairs.
It's like
Yeah,
she
because
was
she was.
outnumbered, but also Guy showed up, who was, I
Hmm.
think, and Jagger might be a touch scared of Mud.
I mean, a
Because
tall stoic who has his emotions in extreme check. It's pretty
mm-hmm.
scary.
It's like she can't really do anything for him because like he's just like, I am steel, you cannot get to me. At least psychologically.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And so once Jaggers crept back into her hole, Kate tried to be, comforting, but what can she do? So she made herself her tea, and you know, cook is Mrs. Pratt is thankful that she did step in, to do something instead of just sitting back and um, letting it all happen.
Yeah.
And so, and then the Tom Potter, the lover of the dead Jenny, shows
Mm-hmm.
up and is um, comforting. I'm blanking again. Nettie,
Harriet.
Harriet.
Harriet. Yeah, gosh, I get the servants' names all mixed up.
You have
Um,
Amelia, who is the parlor maid. You have Nettie, who I think is the scullery maid, and then Hetty, who I think is the youngest, or Harriet,
mm,
who is the
Harriet.
youngest.
So yeah, Tom arrives to kind of offer some comfort, and probably, let's be honest, misery loves company. And so
Mm-hmm.
he probably came to kind of have everyone have a complaining circle, which is legitimate good reason for complaining, but it is what it is. They're kind of, have a complaining circle saying, thinking very dark thoughts, which again, I don't blame them.
Mm-hmm.
And Kate basically makes her tea and goes back to where she was working, kind of realizing that there's nothing much else she can do, especially since, she's still in a way still kind of an outsider. That's kind of how I saw it. You know, she wanted to help,
Yeah.
but what could she do? And Mrs. Pratt, did politely show her out and close the door behind, on her nicely.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like they're warming up to Kate, but they haven't quite got to that level, especially with what they're talking about.
Yeah. It's like
Yeah.
she's not a straight up enemy, but she is still, we don't fully trust you. And this is
Yeah.
like the inner sanctum.
So this is kind of, in a way, it's kind of like her secret society that she's trying to get into more so than the Order of the Golden Dawn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so she's obviously not quite a member yet, not quite there yet. But they're warming up to her. She's still, at the end of the day, related to Jaggers, and so, they don't know enough about her.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then she goes to drink her tea and then
Her
continue working on
manuscript.
her books, her manuscripts, trying to get
Yes.
something done and to pass the time.
Yeah.
Mm,
Quite dramatic.
It is quite dramatic. I am interested. It's like Aunt Jagger is really quick to call names. Very in like whenever she is, I guess, slighted. It's like, what was the reason why she was down in the kitchen to begin with?
Um,
I don't know if it was ever stated.
I don't
I
think it
don't
was
think
either.
so. Probably
But
to
like,
ask, probably to ask like if like her pincushion maybe has been found. Maybe.
it's like no one knows where the damn pincushion is, honey. You got enough money, go get a new one.
Uh,
It's like the only thing you're probably using it for is for like decorative needlework. Go get a new one.
It's like, go get a voodoo doll, preferably one that looks like you.
yeah, I'm kind of glazing. I'm not really seeing a good reason for her to be down there.
Let alone to attack a little girl who's like what, 14?
Thereabouts.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, so she raged at her sister, threw cards into the fire, left the library, probably still seething at from being slapped by her sister,
So she's probably
and
lashing out, throwing a temper tantrum.
probably
And the smallest of the members of the household was probably Harriet, and she's probably in the wrong place at the wrong time. And Mrs. Pratt was not having that. And then
Yeah.
Aunt Jagger also swung on Pratt, who was just like, heck no, and then doused her with. I think it was technically a slop bucket, but she's probably hoping that she'll melt like the Wicked Witch of the West.
let me see. Any Okay, so yeah, it's kind of hard to imagine why she's down there because I went back, Nettie's the one who supposedly lost the pincushion, but it was
Yeah.
Harriet who got punched. So I
Poor
think she's
part.
just in a rage, in like a tornado, just swinging her emotions and at this point fists around.
She
Yeah,
seems emotionally imbalanced enough to do that.
Mhm.
yeah,
It's like
which I
she
mean,
is.
she already sent Nettie off and had her temper tantrum on her.
Yeah. Send her off to the cellar to work.
Yeah.
But yeah. Chapter 32, we are back with Charles as he continues to make his rounds of his list of possible suspects and or persons of interest. He ends up heading toward the vicar's church slash resident.
Real quick, I'm gonna have to go.
Later, cats.
All right.
Later.
Have a good night,
Later.
cats.
Good night.
But as he's arriving to the vicar's house, we see what I assume is Aunt Sabrina leaving the vicar's house.
That was my assumption as well.
Because, like, Charles, I think, has met her maybe 2 or 3 times. And he doesn't strike me as the person of, if he's not interacting with them on a one-to-one basis, he's not going to remember your face.
Yeah.
Or if he's distracted by, oh, let's say a pretty little Irish American.
I was about to say, he remembers Kate's.
He remembers Case,
Oh,
but
yeah.
he's been on one-to-one interactions with her, and he finds her interesting. I don't think Aunt Sabrina ticked his box of, I want to remember this person. But
Yeah.
yes, like, I am willing to bet money that that was Aunt Sabrina that left the vicar's house, and she looks distressed.
Yep.
But Charles ends up having a conversation with the vicar. He. This is where we get, believe, the little bit more information concerning Florence, Faber, now Florence Farnsworth. We get the information of why she left acting, how she ended up in her current situation, which is basically her husband wasn't all that great with money, apparently. But she's basically been blacklisted from the London entertainment industry. But there's also this hint of that she's trying to get back into it. And to what degree is to be seen. It's like something was mentioned about Paris. Something was mentioned about Westcott, as he is like the head of the. I think Westcott is actually the head of the current temple, isn't he?
I think so, and I think she just facilitates it.
Yeah, or that at least is what it appears to be to the outside world.
Yeah.
But Charles shows he shows the vicar the photo of the murdered man, and the vicar is not as adept as hiding his emotions as, let's say, a seasoned actress. He kind of gets like a little tick at the top of his eye, and I get the feeling he straight up lies to Charles.
More than likely. It's like I got that feeling as well.
But yeah.
Not as good as again, not as good as a poker player as
No,
Miss Farnsworth.
nope. You can't go over against a Hollywood actress or a London actress of this time period. They are the peak of their profession.
Yeah.
But moving back over into Kate's world, Aunt Sabrina is back from her little jaunt. It is relatively late at night, and Kate is still up. Kate wants to talk to Aunt Sabrina, but Sabrina's tired. She's worn out. She's, I think, a little stressed about what she has learned and what she had to go and discuss with the vicar, because I feel like those two are probably the closest within their circle. So of like social standing. But I also, from a bit of the conversation of Sabrina reassuring Kate that she's not going anywhere, I get the feeling that Sabrina might have changed, like, I don't know if like she changed her will so that Kate inherits or something along those lines, because prior to Kate showing up, if something happened to Sabrina, the only place that her fortune, her house, her estate would go to would be her quote unquote only living relative, which is Jagger. But with Kate in the
Yeah.
picture, and Kate and her getting along rather famously. I wouldn't be surprised at some point uh Jagger might have gotten a little bit worried that any inheritance that Sabrina might pass down would skip her and go straight to their niece, who she's just like, excuse me. And this is just me theorizing. But I feel like that is why she is so adamant about getting rid of Kate. It's just
So Jaggers is essentially fulfilling a self fulfilled prophecy, essentially.
kind of. It's like I feel like Jagger is feeling very threatened by Kate's continued presence at the house.
Like, what's this? Someone that won't cow down and do my every whim? It's like we can't
Someone
have that.
someone with a backbone who doesn't take my bullshit? We can't have that. I don't have any drone with this person. I can't blackmail her like I do to my own sister.
Bummer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Kate's just like a little uneasy because this is like the most serious she has seen her aunt since she arrived. So she can't sleep, so she goes back to her room and she just starts writing. And she continues to do such until she basically finishes that and then goes down to the library and starts typing. And while she's in the library, someone tries to break into the house. Fails, but the attempt was made.
Yep. Mm.
And I also think this is the most dialogue we have seen from Mud so far.
Like
It's like the man has to be half asleep to be talkative, I swear. Because he hears something crash because there was a flower pot was broken. He's just like, wakes up, stumbles through his window, and she's like, what's going on? And Kate's just like, we have an intruder, call the cops or something. But yeah. Good grief, police response time in this time period must have been atrocious.
everything else, the police are in this time frame.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's like the only thing that was left behind was a brown felt hat. Not much in the way of clues. In fact, I would think that was a very common item of clothing and not a all striking color.
True. However, a couple chapters ago, there was wasn't there another person with a brown hat that came walking in briefly?
Did Tom have a hat?
I want to say he did. I know he had like a bun. I know that his general attire was brown.
Let me see.
Uh, slender, boyish looking young man, rough brown coat, brown trousers, brown felt hat.
Ah, yes, right there. There it is. So possibly, I wouldn't be surprised though, because like they have been chattering and they seem to have been plotting something. And good grief, I wouldn't be surprised if Tom was just like, I am going to break into this house and murder that bitch.
Which can't blame the man.
Can't blame the man. Shame he was a klutz.
Yeah, and shame that Kate was there to spoil it.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like the next morning, and Sabrina and Kate are out surveying the damage and trying to see if there's anything they can spot. It's not much, seeing fact shortly after this all happened, it started raining, and so any footprints or hoofprints were got washed away well into the night.
Yeah.
But and Sabrina also makes the decision to basically take everything Kate has been working on and lock it away. I don't know if I feel like, because Sabrina strikes me as a smart woman, and she might have seen something she shouldn't have in that letter from Mrs. Fransworth, and then she went in and had a chat with the vicar, who I think is a very close confidant of hers. And so but like her sister's already threatened to basically burn anything concerning the Golden Dawn. But because she's a smart woman, she's just like, no, if something shady is going on that I've been a part of, I can't let this potential evidence get destroyed, so I am going to lock it into a safe that only I have the key to, and is in my private rooms. Which, polite society, you don't go into someone's private rooms without asking, or without them there, because that's just very taboo. But it feels like Sabrina is getting a little bit more of her spine back, because she seems right furious that Jagger not only has basically attacked 3 of her staff, she also tried to fire her cook.
Yep. And Sabrina's about at that point where it's about to go after Jaggers. The consequences be damned.
Pretty much. But I feel like things are going to be picking up like this last quarter of the book that we are about to dive into.
Yeah, it's like at one point the book mentioned a a hurricane was brewing in the top part, and a volcano was bubbling in the bottom of Bishop's Keep.
Yeah.
So
I
things are.
have I have a feeling that we are probably going to see a second murder, and that is purely from the title of the book, Death at Bishop's Keep. It's like there's been a death
Yeah,
already in this book, but it hasn't been at Bishop's Keep.
yeah, I
I feel
noticed
like
that too.
something's going to happen to someone, and I feel like this has been building and building and building, and I hope it's not Sabrina.
I hope not
Because,
either.
okay, here's the thing. There are certain type of characters that people love to hate. There are some characters that people have to hate. Aunt Jagger is somewhere in the realm of similar characters for me to that of Dolores Umbridge. She is in the same vein. You have to hate this person because, oh my gosh, what is wrong with you? But yeah. Well, that
Yep.
is conclusion of the reading for this week. Anyone have any comments, questions, or concerns of this section of reading?
Nope.
Nope.
I think I'm good.
Okay. Rusty, who is also not Rusty, I'm sorry. Concert Cruiser. You are, as you mentioned for earlier, a little bit behind on us. What are your opinions of what you have read this week?
Okay, I got to where they're holding some party or get together, and kind of discussing the murder, the body that was found, and also some tire tracks I believe that were found
Mm-hmm.
at the site. And correct me if I'm wrong. One of them wants to get involved with the occult, or at least these people with the tarot cards and the magic, but she's doing more of an undercover investigation with them.
Yeah, that's Kate.
And that this scene I'm really curious to see because you know you don't have to know a whole lot about tarot cards and palmistry and all that to know what it's supposed to be about, and it will be pretty easy for them to spot a faker. So I'm going to be curious to see if there's going to be a scene where she has to perform some sort of tarot reading or psychic ability, and that's usually where your plan falls. So that's what I'm, curious to see here.
Ah. Okay.
Okay.
And it's like you said, you're in chapter. Did you get past chapter 21, or were you at the beginning of it?
The beginning of it.
Okay. So you were probably at the dinner party at Eleanor's place. Or Elaine's. Why do I want to call her Eleanor?
Eh.
Eh.
I wish I had an answer for you.
Oh, it is Eleanor. Why do I keep on switching to Elaine? What book have I read that has a character named Elaine in it? I read too much. Okay. Anyway. Okay, so this next bit, I think we're going to do a little bit shorter reading that gives Cruiser a little bit easier time catching up. So we can do about 30 pages, I think. So we will be reading chapters 35 through chapters 41, stopping at the beginning of 42. Anyone against or have any other suggestions?
No, sounds good to me.
Okay.
41.
And then it's like through 41. And then we'll basically have two chunks of roughly 40-ish pages to finish out the last two sessions of the book after next week. So, yeah. I think that will do it. Any final critiques, comments, random quotes you found interesting?
I roll your face.
Where was that?
It's a quote from a voice actor. That's how he signs his autographs.
Oh.
Okay.
I could, like, no joke. I actually said that at work at the time, and everyone goes, "Stop! Wait! Hold on! What does that mean?" And I go, "You're a smart woman. You figure it out."
Okay. Okay. And on that interesting note, I think we're going to call it a night. So, I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of their week. Happy New Year, and we'll see y'all next time. Bye-bye.
Take care, everyone.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Happy New Year.